Alright, so we are back for another video, and a really exciting video for today. I think you can see it from the title. This is the new channel favorite for 2022, and this is the Moondrop Kato review. So I actually have this for a couple of months now. I just wasn't able to make a video, but really impressive here. So I had my time with the Kato before doing the review, but even up to now, my verdict still stands. This is still my favorite IEM, especially for the $200 price range, especially for the Chi-Fi world, and we're gonna find out why in this video. First, looking at the box itself, it's actually nicely packaged here. You're getting a Kato, a Moondrop series as well, and of course you are getting that dynamic driver presentation, KXXS, advanced technology optimized as well, and this seems to be the signature that you are getting. But looking at some specifications, of course, dynamic driver presentation, 10mm ultra linear technology dynamic driver, 3rd generation DLC composite diaphragm. So you're using a DLC driver, dynamic driver here, 0.7 to 8 2-pin connector, 32 ohm impedance, 10 to 45 kHz in the frequency range, effective frequency 20 to 20 kHz in the frequency range. And let's just see what you are getting in the box. So actually I haven't unboxed this, but I would just like to show you guys what you are getting inside. All right, you're getting that Kato, and you're even getting that maybe 2-door opening, which is not something that you see usually with some IEMs. And so this is what I really like about Moondrops. They're thinking of the IEM to the packaging, and everything has maybe some consistencies with the overall design. So some manuals. Of course, you're getting that Kato as well, and this might be not the usual unboxing experience that you can experience, but yeah, you're getting of course that IEM nicely maybe packaged ear tips as well. And this is the first time that I've seen the spring tips, the Moondrop spring tips, which is definitely I really like. So the first time that I used these tips, I'm really blown away by the quality. Something that you should have in your kit for me. So any collector should have Moondrop spring tips, and nicely packaged as well. Of course, you're getting a case as well for your IEM. So this is the case that you're getting. So soft hard type of case, leather-ish kind of case. And of course this is the tips collection as well, so you're getting some maybe foam tips and also the spring tips as well on top. So really nice there. You're even getting a pouch as well, so nicely packaged here overall actually. And of course you are getting this cable, so I didn't need to change it after a couple of months. It's still really nice to look at as well. So it has really good weight for me, the cable, really good quality. It's a bit of shine for me as well. If you look at that, has some gloss to it. Of course, a straight plug at the top, and you're getting some ear hooks as well, and of course your 2-pin connector. So moving to the build quality, so actually the look here reminds me of maybe the Moondrop Illumination, so the more expensive Moondrop, but of course this is the silver version. So really looks nice for me here overall, tastefully done for me. So you're getting that maybe reflections at the side, so it fits the maybe theme of the Moondrop Kato. Kind of blocky design there, and the shape as well, very safe shape for me. So of course you're getting that spring tips, so if you have worn maybe Starfields, Arias, maybe you'll feel right at home with this. Insertion is fair. This is not your maybe too deep of an insertion, perfect in the presentation for me, but I would say this is more for casual listening type of insertion to the ear. So this is not a stage monitor type of insertion to the ear, so the isolation is still not the best here, but definitely for some casual listening, for some maybe usual listening, you won't have an issue with this. But yeah, definitely the fit on the ear here, they kind of perfected the fit for me. So yeah, the shape will fit a lot of ears. We will feel right at home with the fit here. Quite comfortable to wear for a long listening sessions, quite breathable for me to the ear. Isolation is fair. Again, not the best isolation. So if you want maybe stage monitoring type of isolation, you would look elsewhere. And going towards stability, again, it's fair. Not the best, because this doesn't have some ear hooks. So some other IEMs will perform better in stability, but this is fair. So using this outside, walking, won't have an issue with this whatsoever. So I don't have any major issues, no deal breakers whatsoever. So solid kit here overall for the package and also the build quality. But of course we are not here for the build quality, we are here for the sound. So let's try to listen to some tunes. But first let's compare to the Moondrop Starfields. So actually the first time that I listened to this, I did feel that this is a more refined version of the Moondrop Starfield. So the bass here is a bit more controlled, a bit more tight in the presentation. The overall presentation as well has more micro detail, a bit better technicalities. And of course, the kicker here for me, the unique selling point is the mids for me is a bit more open to listen to, a bit more revealing to listen to, which is definitely I do like personally. And because of that, improved micro detail, the technicalities just shine here a bit more compared to the Moondrop Starfields. The Moondrop Starfields still no slouch for me, but moving to the Kato, I can definitely see the upgrade of the Kato over the Moondrop Starfields. A lot of things are refined, and refined to my personal taste. This is my personal channel favorite, refined to my personal taste, what I'm looking for in an IEM. They were able to do it in the Kato compared to the Moondrop Starfields. So first, looking at the signature here, so as you guys can see, has a lot of similarities to the Moondrop Starfields. But maybe here at around maybe 10K region, the Kato has a bit more elevation there on top, and also in the base region, it's a touch more recessed in the mix. And you are getting also maybe a slight, more prominent hump at around 1 to 2K. So again, this might explain that the vocals has a bit more maybe oomph in the vocal and the treble as well, and the bass as well a bit more toned down for me in the mix. So the presentation here for me is definitely more reference compared to the Moondrop Starfields. This in the reference side for me, but again, not the coldest, not the most reference that I've listened to. So this still north of reference for me, slightly north of reference, but definitely this in the reference side of sound. So not overly aggressive of a presentation, which is definitely nice. But what I really like about this is, again, it's in the reference side, but this is not an overly boring pair. So this is still quite a versatile pair for me. The liveliness is still gonna be there. It's not gonna be a boring type of listen, which is definitely something that I really, really like. So much like the Starfields, that it has that maybe lively nature in the sound. This still has it. But of course, compared to some blondes, KZs, this is going to be a lot more toned down in the presentation over those. So next, let's listen to some That's What I Like by Bruno Mars for the bass region. So looking at the bass here, so nicely sized here for me overall. The elevation is where I want it to be. So almost perfect bass for me in the presentation. So the size is where I want it to be. It's actually in the tighter side of presentation, but this is not a small type of bass. So it's kind of like in the middle for me. So it has still really good size for me in the mix. Fast in the presentation, no mid-bass bleed for me as well, and that really goes deep in the sub-bass region as well. So a lot of things checks out for me in the bass region, and in the presentation as well, it's quite flat for me of a presentation. It's quite level for me of a presentation. So again, no mid-bass bleed, really technically capable bass for me. And again, for dynamic drivers, maybe one of the fastest that I've listened to. So even for some double peds tracks, triple peds, this will resolve the bass here really nicely. And also what I like about this more than maybe other dynamic drivers is the impactfulness here, the liveliness, has a bit more maybe oomph in the sound. So not that much, but definitely has that maybe more percussive type of presentation for me in the mix. A bit more open, a bit more transparent for me in the presentation, and it's definitely nice bass for me. So the bass, I don't have any major issues on this. Almost perfect bass for me in the presentation. So let us try some September by Earth, Wind and Fire. So going to the mids, this is definitely the highlight for me of the Moondrop Kato, more so compared to what you're getting with the Moondrop Starfields. So the vocals, the presentation, the positioning is spot on for me. So for both a male and female vocals, it's right where I want it to be. So no issues on that. And what I like about this more than the Moondrop Starfields is the vocals is definitely more transparent to listen to. First, it has that micro detail, and next, the presentation is a bit more open for me in the mix. It's a bit faster for me in the presentation. So definitely really, really nice on that. So for both a male and female vocals, the positioning is right where I want it to be. And compared to the Starfields for me, so the presentation here is a bit more open, a bit more transparent to listen to. So this is the first vocal that I listen to that is this type of presentation that still has that openness, but not overly done for me. So they were able to find a really good balance for me in the presentation there, and the smoothness. So this is still in the clean side of presentation for me in the vocals, but again, it's not thin in the note weight for me. The note weight is right where I want it to be. So I don't have any major issues. So in terms of the cons, not much in the presentation here. This is definitely a unique selling point for me of this presentation. So definitely if you are a vocal head, you will enjoy the overall listen here. And because of that maybe faster dynamic driver, you're getting a bit more micro detail compared to what you're getting with the Moondrop Starfields here. Really nice in the presentation here overall. So going to some top end, as you guys can see, you're getting a bit more maybe 10K, 11K in the mix and the Moondrop Kato. So compared to the Moondrop Starfields, the top end is a bit more open in the presentation, has a bit more clarity for me on top, but still both are really nicely extended on top for me. So lots of treble on top here for me. So So the cymbals, really good body for me. So perfect in the presentation for me. And also the guitars as well. Nicely extended on top, quite clear in the overall presentation. Again, with that guitars, nice extension there, nice micro detail for me in the mix. I can definitely listen to some distortion in the guitars there. Reference in the presentation. So this is more of a neutral IEM. So the accuracy is really good here overall. Having that neutral IEM is definitely one of the more versatile type of presentation that you can get in any IEMs. So going to some soundstage, nicely sized, but not the biggest that I've heard, above average in the presentation. I'm going to some separation, really good here for me. Especially for dynamic drivers, this in the cleaner side for dynamic drivers in general. The instruments are kind of black and white for me to listen to. That's definitely nice. Still, this won't beat out your maybe some planars that I've listened to, or some BA presentations. But for dynamic drivers, this is already in the better side of things. One of the best that I've listened to for dynamic drivers. And going to imaging as well, really good here. So very easy to pinpoint some instruments. And going to tonality, so I would say this might be maybe just one of the cons that I can think of for the presentation here, because it's in the drier side of things. So compared to the Moondrop Starfields, so this drier, a bit colder compared to the Moondrop Starfields. So if you have an issue with tonality sometimes, you might want to listen to this in a shop to make sure that tonality is okay for you. But of course, keep that in mind. Again, this is more in the reference side of things, and that can come across as boring for some people. So keep that in mind. That's just one con that I can think of. But otherwise, for the overall presentation here, no major issues, no deal breakers. Obviously this is my personal channel favorite, so I'm biased like that, but this is daily driver material, definitely one of the best that I've listened to in the channel. So that's my listen with the Moondrop Kato. So a lot of things checks out here. Really good build quality, cable, really good, packaging as well, really good. Spring tips, nice on that. Signature, neutral signature for me. A bit more refined compared to the Moondrop Starfields, which is already really prominent, really one of my favorites in the channel. But improve it a bit more micro detail, a bit more open sound, a bit more open vocal for me, a bit more extended top, a bit more toned down bass, better separation as well, and technicality. So yeah, a lot of things checks out for me. So this is a natural maybe upgrade for me from the Moondrop Kato in the channel favorite moniker, and that makes it the channel favorite for 2022. So if you like my personal preference in sound, you should consider the Moondrop Kato in your short list. You should consider adding it in your collection, because this is definitely really nice IEM. But of course, on the other side, for people who's of course looking for more V-shape, more bass, you might not like this. And also, if you don't like that maybe a bit more colder tonality, you might not like this. But otherwise, if you're okay with all of those, this definitely should be in your shortlist and should be in your collection, especially if you are following the channel. So definitely for me, yes, the Moondrop Kato will definitely go to the Z favorites for 2022, the Earphone Awards. But it will definitely go to the top recommendations there for our top fives and stuff like that. So if you're looking for an IEM to buy, to upgrade to from other maybe sub $100, this is definitely something that you should aim for, especially if you do like more of an enthusiast type of sound. Alright, so that's my take with the Moondrop Kato. So it's been a while since I reviewed this. Of course, a big thanks to Hi-Fi Go for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. Have you listened to the Moondrop Kato? Actually, the new Moondrop Kato Blue has been released, so I would love to check that one out. And there are a couple of things as well, so I'm trying to catch up to the reviews. As you guys can see, in the couple of maybe days, I have uploaded almost every single day, so I'm trying to catch up to the reviews here, so you will expect more in the coming days. But what do you think of the Moondrop Kato? Have you listened to it? What do you think of it? Do you have any cons and stuff that you would like some people here in the channel to know? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you love the Moondrop Kato? Let me also know down in the comments below if you do love it. And what do you think of the Kato Blue as well? Should I check it out? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt review.